Hi, everybody. Am I audible? Yes, great. So I hope you had a nice break and you are energized. This talk, I'll try to keep it as engaging as possible. And since most of you are young professionals, like Max mentioned, that having a portfolio for yourself is really important. So today we'll be talking about how you can build one for yourself. And I'll be showing a small demo. It's open source. I won't be writing a lot of code due to the time crunch, but then I'll be having a list of resources that you can go ahead and there's a well documented readme that you can follow the steps from as well. So moving forward with the talk, it's about revolutionizing web development with Headless CMS. So can I see a quick show of hands of how many of you are web developers? Web developers? Great. How many of you know what is Headless CMS? Cool, I see a few hands. And those of you don't, this talk will actually tell you what it is. But before that, a bit of introduction about myself. Hi, everybody. I am Haimantika Mitra, and I am working as a developer advocate at Hashnode. Sorry for my hoarse voice. I just lost it the day before yesterday, but then let's get started with it. And a little bit more about me, since I see most of you have your laptops here. I'm guessing you also have NPM installed on your local machine. So go to your terminal, type npx space hello hyphen Haimantika. So this is a cool terminal introduction package that I made for myself just to show it off on conferences like this. That is where you can also find more details about me, my portfolio, what I do, what I've done in the past, and all of those. So that's it about me. Now let's move forward to the interesting part, which is about tech. Great. So, okay, one last thing. So I also have some swags with me, which is notebooks like this. And then there are some stickers. Stickers is basically for everybody. And then there are t-shirts like this as well. I only have 3 t-shirts of 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So you need to adjust with the size. But then the competition is that whatever you're learning in this particular session, I would like to see some tweets where you can tag FOSSASIA and Hashnode, because that's how I'll figure out who are making the tweets. And towards the end of my session, I'll take 5 minutes to go through the tweets and just randomly select six tweets and just give away swag. So that's about the competition, and not a competition, but just a friendly way to create more buzz about the session. And moving forward, so I asked how many of you know about Headless CMS. I just saw a few hands, but for others, basically what headless means is like that the backend is something that is handled by the product or the solution, and the front end part is something that you need to do. And to go by definition, and like it says, so a headless CMS is a backend only content management system, and that's built up ground up as a content repository. And the best part is that it is accessible via APIs. There are many solutions that are available in the market. They also have SDKs in different languages that you can hack with. And also, why people use Headless CMS is because it allows you to manage content in one place and be able to deploy that content in any digital space that you want. So to go by definition, that's what Headless CMS means. But what it actually does is it separates the content layer from the presentation layer. And what you can actually do, like I mentioned, to brief it, like you have APIs that you can call to, and you can integrate it with your own front end and then have a solution for it. Moving forward, why Headless CMS? And currently in the market, there are a lot of options available, and the most popular one is WordPress. Then you also have solutions like Storyblog, then there is Contentful, then there is Strappy, and there are a lot of solutions that is available in the market because, and the major reason for that is it also saves development time, and there is such huge, no matter how many developers there are in the world, there is a very huge need of solutions to be built, and solutions like this, which is some amount or lesser amount of code than traditional coding, it only makes your process faster. So why Headless CMS is because at this point, like we mentioned, that data is the key. Similarly, content is the key, especially for tech, or not just tech, also for e-commerce, because for any and every industry, you'll see there is some amount of content, be it through blogs or videos, but content is something that we are also consuming every day. This is content. Whatever you're seeing on your phone is also content. So what it really helps is Headless CMS solutions. It helps you in flexibility in content delivery. Like I mentioned, that you can have it in one place and you can deploy it in any digital channel that you want. Next, it also helps in improving performance and speed, and one of the biggest reason for that is because you have APIs to call to, so that definitely speeds up the performance and your time taken. And then finally, you have future proofing and speed, and the reason to mention this is because a lot of headless CMS solutions, they use recent technologies that are much faster and much scalable. So whenever you are implementing this solution into your products or into the solution that you're building, it makes it faster, and it is, since it's using a recent technology, it also doesn't have a lot of legacy code that you need to update. So these are the 3 top benefits that I feel that you have while using headless CMS. Now, moving forward to that, when do you need to use a headless CMS solution? It's very much tailored for enterprises, but for students, why I use it, I'll give you a demo that I used headless CMS solution to build a blog for myself. Like I have my portfolio, and then there is another page that says blog, which is listing all my blogs. I'll be showing you how that looks. But other than that, like I mentioned already in my previous slides, that it helps you with multi-platform content delivery. It also reduces the complexity of the content structure. So if you're using a headless CMS solution, that's how you reduce the complexity. Then we have front-end technology flexibility. So if your team is, let's say, if your team can code in React or some other JavaScript platforms, JavaScript, not platforms, but frameworks, then you can go ahead and do that. You have the flexibility to use any front-end frameworks. And finally, then if you want some scalability and improved performance, then again you can use headless CMS. And last, you can also integrate with a lot of third-party services. There is no cap on how you do it. Since it's all APIs, all that you need to do is just make a call, and it's as easy as that. Now, which headless solution to choose? There is no one size fits all solution to it. You need to, like I mentioned, that there are a lot of options available in the market. You need to choose what actually fits the goal for you. You need to do your own research and see what works for you. But in this particular talk, I will be talking about Hashnode headless CMS. And if these are some of your needs, like if you want something to be very customizable, if you want something which is open source, if you want something that's that takes only a few minutes to set up, which I'll show you in my demo, then headless Hashnode is a great option for you. And some of the key features that headless Hashnode has, especially as students or as writers or somebody who is creating content, we do have AI assisted writing. So just come up with an idea, and if you want to improve your grammar, if you want to shorten it and do all the fancy things that AI can help you, that's already inbuilt. Next, we also have inline commenting. So for people who have used Google Docs, you'll see that there is an option for us to go and add comments, add reviews. So you can also do that in Hashnode. And then finally, we have collaborative editing. So if a blog is being written by me and my friends or my colleagues or 2 or 3 more people, you can also do that. So these are some things that I find very useful, and especially as early tech professionals or somebody who is a student, these features can definitely help you a lot. Now moving forward to the demo time. So this is where I'll try to keep my mic down and speak as loud as I can. Let's hope you can hear me, but or I'll try to just code with one hand. So like I mentioned, that I'll show you how I built my blog. So this is basically it. I have a few blogs. These are all being fetched from Hashnode. I'm sorry for the front end part. I just coded it on a day, but basically this is how you can also implement, and I'll show you how you can do that. So Hashnode has this repository which is open source, and it's a starter kit. All that you need to do is fork it and create a clone for yourself. I have already done that on my local machine, so I'll be skipping this step, and then I'll move forward to my VS Code. I hope you can see it. Great. I am already in, just a second, I'll do a lot of cd dot. Great. So once you fork it, this is how your VS Code or any IDE of your choice is supposed to look like. And then there are 3 packages that Hashnode provides right now. And the one that you saw in my demo is a personal theme. And then there is enterprise theme as well. And then there is Hashnode theme as well. So if you go to hashnode.com, you'll see that there's a particular theme that Hashnode follows while showing articles. So that's how it looks in general. And you can choose from the theme. The entire code structure is a monorepo structure. So whichever theme you're choosing, you need to go into that folder to install the dependencies and get it started. So I'll just do that quickly. So if you see that we are in our starter kit folder, which is the main, the fork that we just made. And then I need to go into my packages. So I'll just do that, because inside packages are my themes, my blog starter kits, and the different themes that I mentioned. So inside packages, if you can see that there is blog starter kit, or you can just do an ls and see what are the files that we have. So we have a cd, we need to do cd to blog starter kit, and then I'll do an ls again. I'll see there's themes. So I'll just get inside the document, the folder themes, and then if you do an ls again, you'll see that there are 3 themes that are available. And for this particular demo, I'll show you how you can build and customize a blog using your enterprise theme. So I'll just do the last cd into enterprise, and that's it. So now we are into our main theme that we will be replicating today, which is enterprise. And now we need to do an pnpm install to install all the packages that this theme needs. So that will take a little while, and it's done, which is great. And then what I need to do is, within enterprise, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see that there is a .env file. So basically the .env file, it needs 3 things. One is the Hashnode GraphQL API endpoint. The second one is, I'll give you another example. So just give me a second. I need to log into my another account. Nope. Yes, just. So I'm logging into my Hashnode account, and if you see that right here, the internet is a bit slow. But once you have an account and a few blogs on Hashnode, and if you log in, this is what you will see, and this is where my profile is. So the main thing that I need in my env file is this name, which is haimantika.m.hashnode.dev. So I'll go back to my VS Code, and I'm trying to find my .env file. Yes. So my .env file is already here, and I have, so these 2 things, like the first one, which is the Hashnode GraphQL endpoint, will stay as it is. We also have an .env.example file that you can copy and paste it into our actual env file. And then the next thing that you need is your publication name, which in my case is haimantika.m.hashnode.dev. For you, it will be different. So you populate that. And then this mode can be development or production, depending on how confident you are to have it in production. But for this particular demo, we'll have it on development. And that's all the changes that you need to make. And now I'll do a npm run dev, hoping the demo gods don't show up and it runs, and I can show you a local deployment of how it should look like. Well, it's running, and my fingers are crossed, hoping that it works. Okay, we have a local host deployment. Just let me click on it. Great. So just to recap, so this is my Hashnode profile, and if I am going here, if I'm going to my blog home, you'll see that I have 2 blogs, and now I wanted to create a blog for my own self. So all that I did was I cloned the Hashnode open source repository. I added my .env, the environment variables. And then this is what Hashnode, I just needed to install a few dependencies and just run it. And this is what Hashnode gave, prepared for me. So the next step is I'll show you how you can easily customize it. The entire code base is written mostly on Tailwind and Next.js. So to change some CSS, what we can do is we can probably go to our, let me see what I can change for you. I am trying to find, okay. Just a second. Okay, so let's try something. Maybe what we can do is we can go to our components, and if you see that if you see that we have a lot of components, which is the footer component, the header component, maybe we can go to our cover picture component. This is how the cover picture looks right now. And let's say that I want it to look a little more rounded. So let's see. So if you see that we have this file, which is inside a container folder structure, which says it's a cover image file. And let's say that I want to make it a little more rounded. So I'll change the CSS a bit and probably make it to rounded XL. And when I refresh it, you'll see that it's a bit more rounded than now. Or let's say if I want to maybe change something else, that also you can do it from here, right here. And then what I would also want to change is some color. I'm trying to change. Okay, so if you see, this is our Tailwind file, and then there are some primary colors that are changed. So when I go back to my deployment, you see here that the the primary color is blue, which means my buttons are blue, my newsletter section is blue, and if I'm also hovering on my links, these are blue as well. And I would like to change it to red, or any other, maybe to green as well. So all that I need to do is I need to see where the code is written, and then let's say I want to change it to red. So I do that, and as you can see that the primary color has changed to red, and even while I'm hovering on my link, it's red, and everything here else has changed to red. So these are two simple ways how you can easily go ahead and customize. These are very simple ways, but what I have also done is I have added a dark mode to light mode changes. So you can also do that. You can add SVGs for it, and a component for it, and you can customize it as much in any way that you want. So for this particular demo, I'll be keeping it short. But that's pretty much it. Now I'm almost coming to the end of my session. So that's how you can easily build, sorry, it's taking some time to present again. But then that's pretty much it about how you can build a headless CMS solution for yourself. And here is the QR code that has all the resources that I just mentioned, including the open source repository, the blogs, and anything else that can help you get started. And below is my Twitter handle, and I am, you can find every other detail from my social handles there as well. And I'm also very active on social media, so at any point of time, if you need any help or if you have any doubts, I am more than happy to answer your question. And also in the QR code, there is our Hashnode Discord channel. So at any point of time, if you need support, you just need to drop a text, and somebody from the team will respond to you almost instantly. So that's it. And while I'll be ending this session, I would like to remind you about the competition that's going on, which is you need to tweet your learnings and tag FOSSASIA and Hashnode. And maybe a few minutes later, I'll see how many of you have done that and give you some swags that I have. So yeah, that's all for this session, and I hope you learned something out of it. And I'll be very eager to see if you're building your own portfolios using Hashnode. If you're doing so, you can always tweet out to me or send me a DM, and yeah, I'll be there maybe reposting it or cheering you from afar when I'm going back to my country. So yeah, that's all from my end, and thank you for being such patient listeners. Thank you.